Ahoy! It's Tuesday, I think. It isn't, it's Monday. It's bright and early. I caught a flight somewhere. For those of you who watch regular, you've probably seen the background before. So let's get through the intro and I'll tell you where my toesies have taken me. So, whatever day you're watching this, because YouTube is forever forwards, I don't know. Cast your mind back to Sunday night, and I got on a plane. I left my house 6:30, said bye to Kate and the kids, and drove to Heathrow, got on a plane and took off at 10:30, landed at 3:30, which is 5:30 local time, and got to the workshop. And for those of you who watch our regulars, you should know the background, or you might know the background. I am in Israel, and they were still bastards letting me in the country, but this time Heathrow side. So checked in online. I didn't bring a bag this time. I brought a carry-on bag. So I've literally done the Mrs. Hinch thing and wound my pants into the size of a thimble. I brought an O-ring and a shaft seal for your girl. And I still literally got cavity searched.
Okay, here we go.
Honestly, it's a joke. I don't know whether it's the colour of my passport or what, but I pulled up, so I'd already checked in online. I didn't have a bag to check, so I've gone straight through security, fine. Had a beer in a bar, gone down to the gate, walked up to the gate, and they're like, oh, you haven't passed our security checks. This is El Al, which is a Israeli airline, I think. And they then asked me everything you could possibly ask the person. He went that in depth. I thought we were going to end up talking about bloody bike racing and how I'd done at Cadwa. Honestly, it was a joke. Then they took me into a room and emptied my bag out. I didn't have any questions, but they just put stickers all over my passport, stickers all over my bag, so I don't know, probably now marked for being a terrorist or something. So it is a joke. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's the colour on my passport, whether it's because we're British, whether I am a young, handsome young man coming into their country to steal all their women. I have no idea. So if anyone has got a clue, please tell me, because that's 2 for 2. 2 for 2. Honest to God, I went to Bonneville and I took a complete cylinder head and turbo kit in my baggage, and America just went, yeah, it's fine. Not a bother. Here, honestly, it's a joke. So, anyway, done a day's work. I have not seen daylight. A little bit of daylight because I came straight here. I've had 3 hours sleep. I am wired on mint tea and Israeli beer because I've had a couple towards tonight now. But basically, you get out a couple of issues with the car, and it's a big ask for the lads at Doug Hub to come over. So it hangs on idle, so I think it's got an air leak, and it's got a few little leaks here and there, which are nothing to do with the turbos or the build. It's just every now and again an R8 gets a leak, and there's no one here that can look after them. So it's flights and a bit of time till coming over. So right now it is 9 o'clock Monday night, which is 7 o'clock local time, and I'm here till Thursday. So I'm bloody starving. But we'll go in a minute and I'll show you what's going on. The difficulty we've got with the car is to isolate where the air leak is. I need to be seeing live data, so I want to look at manifold pressure bank to bank. I'd want to look at boost pressure bank to bank, lambda bank to bank, throttle angle bank to bank. And because it's tuned by someone else, and they're being rather difficult to get hold of, they can't even look at live data while I'm on it and tell me what's going on. So good old fashioned sniffing the problem out, I think it's going to be. But yeah, it's late, I'm dripping with sweat, it's muggy, it's horrible, I'm hungry, but I'm pretty beard up, so it's a good day. So let's have a wander in and I'll show you the car and show you what's going on. There's a pretty tasty drag GTR as well, so we'll have a wander into that. So I've got the back end of the car off, got the gearbox out, changed the couple of oil seals on the back of the engine and the front of the gearbox just to rule a few things out. We've got some check valves to change, but we never really showed this because we left before Sean and Justin got this finished. I mean, you can see, right, the exhaust is just down here. So you can see how nice it is. We've just literally pulled a few bits back apart and gone through it again. So yeah, we just need to, there's a check valve up there I want to change. I don't know if you can see it. This one on the right, it's going to change that. There's two under the inlet manifolds. We've got some spark plugs to change, service the air filters. Yeah, should be all right. So if I can get this back sat in tonight, that's not a bad day's work. So that's gearbox in and out on a turbo car in a day. So, and then I can spend a day then tomorrow putting everything back together. But Nathan has, this is his drag GTR. So what did you say this does? 8.6 and a quarter. Yeah, 8.6 and a quarter. And their idea of a drag strip is a gravel road. So back home on a prep surface, that's a low 8. But he's having problems at the minute. As he drops into third, he loses line pressure. So he's got a gearbox out and I've got a gearbox out. But again, this is full of Dodson goodies. So that's four-wheel drive shaft, that's intermediate shaft, that's input shaft 1 and 2. So that's what the two baskets pick up off of. And then you can just see one of the selector forks there. So he's been fiddling around with this all day because trying to find where this line pressure issue is. That's the stator, like on the DL800, it's backwards on the GTR. So that lives in a front clutch cover, and then you can see those 5 hoses are what controls what's going on with the clutch. So that front stator lives on the main housing, and then the basket lives on top of that. The clutch lives on top of that, and then that engages then in input shaft 1 and 2. But even like can you see the bearing support is all Dodson. The centre carrier plate is all billet. It's got a T1 diff support on it, and then so quite similar to what we do with ours, with the DLs, but on a GR6. This is a GR6, it's called. I built these years and years back, but don't really touch them anymore. So yeah, Dodson hydraulic pressure sensors. You've just rebuilt this mech unit, haven't you? You've done that today.
Yeah.
So he's filled it full of swarf and couscous.
Couscous, yeah, and Shiba.
And Shiba. Fed it mint tea and hopefully it works. So.
The only thing that can break in a Japanese car is something that Germany done.
Right, that's what you're going for, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
You're blaming it on the Germans.
Yep.
The Germans?
They are pretty true. Yeah, these are Lego compared to the 800s. These are easy. Because it just all hangs. Everything, so the hydraulics have come out, and then you literally split it off the rear axle, take it out, take the mid plate off the back, and the front cover all comes off. And then you're literally left with a gear set. So hydraulic unit goes in from the bottom, and I don't know whether there is, so you can just see the shift forks there in the bottom. And then the mech unit comes in from the bottom, so it's not on there at the minute, it all pans on it. Comes in from the bottom and engages on them shift forks. Whereas the DL800, the shift forks are surrounded by two little hydraulic pistons. and then the pistons are fed the hydraulic pressure, and that's where the most mistakes we see on people who've tried to build DL800s is them pistons, whereas these are more like a conventional shift fork arrangement and how it engages into a selector, and then it's just hydraulic pressure that controls it. But yeah, inside's immaculate, but while I've been stripping mine, they've been stripping this, so I like gold. So yeah, this is stripped out. How's that for an exhaust? So right, back on with finishing my old girl, and we'll catch her up in a bit. This is quite a cool little thing, brand new M240i. It's already got a pure turbo on it. It's got it's not Wagner charge cooler inlet manifold, water meth, MST intake kit, full exhaust, decat, Deutsch high pressure fuel pump, and this is doing like mid 7s, 100 to 200, which is like not bad considering what it is. But yeah, this is brand new, this one, so that's quite cool. We've got to see this tonight. So yeah, found a few little things. Water meth port was in the wrong place, so we sort of talked them through where to put that, and a few little things. We've got it right on the throttle body after the intake air temp sensor, because that's where the intake charge pipe has got the port for it, because it's a hard charge pipe. And just little things like that where you know, if you move your water methanol, your efficiency jumps right up. So yeah, it was a cool little thing. So it's 4 o'clock local time, and I'm pretty much ready to start it back up. So it's 2 o'clock your time. That's everything back together, back in, checked all the check valves, checked all the one-way valves as well, because I think we've got an air leak. I'm just going to change the plugs while it's cold, and change the coils, bang the wing support back on, but I left this side out so you could see, like, that's the feed and return for the charge coolers. It's got Wiggins clamps on the intakes, both sides as well, so similar to what we do. Not a big fan of these. I think our kit is better there where we do that, because I don't know whether you can see, the intake air temp sensor doesn't protrude, so it's shrouded. The boost port is alright, that's the charge pressure port for the MoTeC sensor, so one of them's over here, so we supplied these when we came over last time. But yeah, I'm not too fussed. I think I supplied the air temp sensors as well. But yeah, I don't think that's very good. I think it needs to protrude more, but I also don't like the look of it. And I would put fly leads on, but I didn't do that bit. Obviously the fuel system's over there, so that's similar to the fuel system we put in Simon's. Well, it's not similar, it's exactly the same. So that's the Boost Logic fuel system, but obviously they've got their operated inlet manifold, whereas we had a sheepy one. Yeah, the blanketing is very nice though. So they put one over the flexi. It's a T4 flange, so it's a bolt-on flange, not a V-band. So they make one for the flexi, one for the adapter. We obviously run them on our turbine housings anyway, and then we run them on the wastegate housings, but those two little covers are very nice. And then where the transmission cooler feed and return comes in, a tee off for the turbos, because they're water fed turbos. So we've got oil it in, and then one water line and another water line, because they're Garrett cores, whereas the Precisions we use are oil cooled only. If you were going for silly power, which this is, you would kind of go to a water fed system, because you can do the wastegates as well, but I think this is one of the best bits in it. So that's the ice tank, and that is the water pump for the charge coolers, so that is proper. Yeah, it's a nice little system. So feed, return through the coolers at the front. It's just obviously a cooler on each side, but also that little drain there is what, so when you're on the strip you can drain out the bottom of the charge coolers, or you can drain the charge coolers out and then refill them with fresh water, and then there's a guard there to stop the ice getting at the pump, so you can just fill it full of ice. When you're over here, very important because it's bloody hot. Downside is you lose the area you keep your pants in. So the size of that bloody pump, it's a monster. It's also a BMW one, but yeah, pretty meaty. So we'll get it finished off and run up, and hopefully we'll have that on the end of the video, because like I said, it's about 2 o'clock local time and Davey's trying to edit because it's a Tuesday and I'm trying to fix a car. So we'll get it fired up, see what's what. See you in a bit. So it's almost there, but I think I'm going to pull the inlet manifold off to check the seals and bits and pieces, because I think it's got an air leak, and because we don't have access to the MoTeC, because it's password protected, because I didn't tune it, it's very hard to sort of diagnose what's going on. So it's yeah, I think because we're trying to get something out for today as well, which is Tuesday, I think what we might do is hang it there, do a part 2 and have you join us Friday. So yeah, I've got to put fluids in it, but I don't want to get it hot because I want to take that off, I think. So we'll see what we can find. But thanks for watching. Drop some comments below, let us know what you think. Bit of a weird one, but not much that can be done this week because I'm 3,000 miles away. So hope you've enjoyed it. Something a little bit different, I suppose. The injectors are due back for the Golf, so we can get the inlet manifold back on the Golf and get the engine back in that. The blocks arrived for the TTRS, so that is good. What else we got going on? While I'm here, I think I've just agreed to take a McLaren in. So there's going to be a McLaren shipped over. He's got a camshaft problem. I looked at that today. To be fair, I should have put that in a bloody video, but I forgot. I need a Davy when I travel. So yeah, back Thursday evening, so back in work Friday. So if you've tried emailing or calling or messaging and I haven't responded as quick as I normally have, then sorry about that, but just trying to keep on top of everything while I'm gone. So right, I'll leave you with it, but more twin turbo goodness. 6 of them at bloody work, and now I'm getting flown all around the world to do them. So I don't know, lucky I guess. See you in a bit. Laters.